Awesome. Thank you all for having me. And thank you all for your work and due diligence in the background, because that's where the rubber meets the road. Grassroots, that's what it takes right there. You can raise all the money in the world, but if you're not making those connections, like these groups, like yourselves, we can't win. Together we can. And that's what I decided back February the 2nd, 2021. I decided, I said, we have to make a difference. I mean, we got voter suppression laws, we got horrible bills, heartbeat bills. There's just so many things, women's rights, so many things at stake. I feel like I was born in 1966, but it feels like it's 1966 all over again, because voters' rights and all this stuff was passed in 65, but didn't to fruition until 66. So we have a lot of work at hand, and we need someone that's committed to the state of Texas. It's going to take 8 years to undo this, probably 12 years, because the Republicans have been in control for now about 30 years. And there's so many things to work on. Education, we're the worst in 48 states. We're at the bottom of the poll, 47 out of 48. We're using $254 million worth of money to build a wall. That's ridiculous. First of all, people are flying in, driving in from north, east, and west. And it just doesn't make any sense. We have over 1 million immigrants that's waiting to have their day in court. I think we just need to go ahead on and make sure we create some citizens that's going to be taxpaying citizens. It's just simple, common sense politics is all it is. But we need someone that's going to fight for us and fight for our rights, y'all. I was fighting in Beaumont, Texas, my own hometown. We found out we had to go to Austin. We fought there. Over 5,000 people showed up. Built a coalition with the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, coalition with the Poor People's Campaign, Dr. William Barber, his team here in the state of Texas. Then they reached out to him nationally. Then he showed up with us in Washington, D.C. We ran into this little guy by the name of Reverend Jesse Jackson. He got arrested with me, along with Congressman Al Green. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee got arrested the week before. So I was sitting out there going like, what can I do? Here I am. I'm nothing but a candidate. That's all. I'm just a candidate. I'm not a congressman. I'm not a senator. I'm not any of these folks. I'm not Reverend Jesse Jackson, but they were doing the same thing that I was doing. And we was out there fighting for the rights of those that are back home. 127,000 people in Harris County, ballots was trying to be thrown out. We need to make sure we fight for those folks, drive-through voting. We need to make sure we fight for those that are impaired and need assistance to vote. We need to make sure that we have safe voting places. These are all the things that we must fight for, continue to fight for, and we need a warrior to fight for those. All my life, like I say, I had to fight, and I'm still fighting here. 7 brothers and sisters, I had to fight just for my dinner at the dinner table. So I've learned how to fight, and I learned how to fight fairly, because we have to make sure that we understand the laws that are at hand today. But at the same time, though, we need a governor that's going to call special sessions to get rid of those voter suppression laws. We need to veto horrible votes, and we need to make sure we make good appointments. When we make those appointments, we need to unappoint people like Mike Morath, our education commissioner. We have a problem there, folks. We have a problem there. And we have to fix education with vocation and trades and things like that. We have to make sure that we expand Medicaid. We have to make sure that we fight for every woman's right there is out there. With all of our help on the ground, all of our help abroad throughout the state of Texas, northeast, south, and west, we can do it. But we have to make sure that we get the word out. We have to knock on the doors. We have to make the phone calls. We cannot get weary in our well-doing. We are doing well, but we have to make sure that we do it together. And that's what I found out. I partnered up with Push Democracy Forward. That's a new program that's out there. They're the ones that when we partnered and we flew out to Washington, D.C., we had to stay another night once I had to go back and make my bill. We have to make sure we do all that we can. John Robert Lewis, was arrested as a United States Congressman fighting against the Senate. So I'm going like, what else is there to do? Well, even as a governor, when you all decide to elect me as the next governor of the great state of Texas, you're going to have the first time the governor is going to be arrested, because if those folks at the Republican Party are not paying attention or listening, I'm going to challenge them even as a governor, just as I did on the street with my own Speaker of the House, our Speaker of the House, Dave Phelan. That's from Beaumont, Texas. Y'all Google him. You'll find out he's from Beaumont, Texas. I challenged him in my hometown, and we challenged him in Austin, Texas, to the point that he called all of my friends, the state president of the NAACP, and Ron Reynolds, a representative out of Houston, Texas, say, please call your Michael Cooper, your dog, off of me. Y'all, he called me a dog. He asked them to take me off the trail. And I was telling him, I am not going to resist. I'm not going to leave. So I made sure that he knew that we're here to stay. And for 3 days, y'all, we got a reprieve. But then he doubled down just like they do. And that's when our legislators took off and went to Washington, D.C. So it takes a team. It takes an effort. We cannot get frustrated with what we're doing. We have to be strategic. We have to make sure that we send the right candidate forward. We have to make sure that we have someone that has a made-up mind. Y'all have a made-up mind. I'm the only candidate that's filed before December, the CTA. Now, there's some folks that file to pay the fees, but I filed the first CTA, made up my mind to fight for this great state of Texas. And I'm telling you, it's going to take 8 to 12 years to do it. We don't need a governor that just want to use it as a stepping stone to another position. We need a governor that's going to fight for women's rights, children's rights, and all of our rights.